All right, we are live to record.
Okay.
Um, what are we on? So it's September 12th, PM
Yep.
turn
We're gonna.
for the Allies.
Yep. So I just adjusted the weather. Weather's the same. Remember, it's clear AM and PM. Then after that, next AM turn will roll randomly for weather. So I did weather is the same. So I moved the marker to the PM turn for the game track, and then
Oh, I
command phase.
I did my move, and I sent you the file. Now, did you want to do artillery? Is there someone you see in the clear or
Oh, to see if I can.
non-observation terrain or movement covered terrain? If I'm not in that, take a look around first.
All right. Let me find my charts here.
And then
Actually, got.
you can do spending ammo points for your ammo depletion roll.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'll probably have to do that because I didn't get those two back that I'll need. Oh, let's see. I gotta find the terrain chart here.
Oh, there's one thing I didn't do on my turn. It was quick construction because that's at the end with these new rules. Oh, I should say
Okay.
the original rules of the movement phase. Nope, there is nobody. The reason why I want to play with these rules, one, there's been this whole thing about these rules are unplayable, you can't use them, you can't play the game. And as a scientist, I listen to what people say. However, I like to do the test. Let's see how bad these rules are. Let's see how unplayable the game is using the
Yeah.
original rules. Because I always like to go, what did the designer intend to do? What did Joe Yost intend for his game system? So far, what I've been reading, I've been enjoying what I've read. It's been clean, it's been clear. I don't see the problem what people are talking about. Maybe it's the exclusive rules that they're having a problem with, but the series rules that come in the box, I'm not seeing it so far. But we'll play out the game and see, and you'll tell me what you see as well, Steve, because we've played many different rule sets.
Yeah. Yeah. So on that topic, since we're talking about it, um, I would say at first I was hesitant to play out of the box because I like the 2020 rules and how they're presented. I think they polished them up a little bit. I would say after we played basically, well, we played a whole game turn of mine last night. When you and I played, we did everything step by step. I would say that they're not uh, as bad as people would make them out to be. Maybe they were back when it first came out, but the Hurtgen rules are not that much different. There's a few modifiers I think that are different so far. That's been the main thing. And the only complaint I would have, and this would just be learning, as they go, or maybe it was just a cost effective thing, is the old charts are butt ugly.
That's funny.
They
I
are.
I like the old charts.
Do you? I'm not saying they're laid out bad, but they're just rammed in there for me. I don't know if it's my gamer ADD or what, but to try to. Now, granted, last night was the first night I've ever looked at them. So the first time you're ever using charts in any game, you're not going to know where anything is. So after we did like one or two combats, I didn't think it was that difficult.
I'm gonna, by the way, get this on a PDF, this chart. That way I can bring it up when we're playing. So people watching a YouTube video, I'll open it up and so you can see now what charts we're speaking of. As
Yeah.
for the game rules, these are the same rules, by the way, that are in Hurricane too. So the one in Vak on Rhine. So these two rule books are identical in writing. So if you took out the Vak on Rhine rule books, they're the same as Hurricane's. It
Oh, are they?
starts,
Okay.
yes, it changes in, I believe, Atlantic Wall, and then they do their versions 2016, 2017, and up to 2020. And so I guess the word came out that, oh, these are unplayable, you can't read them, and nothing like that. So we're going to see. We're going to see if we can play this campaign with the original rules.
Yeah, no, I'd say I wouldn't say it's unplayable by any stretch of the imagination. I would say it's just as playable as the 2020 rules. I think my only thing that I don't like is I'm so used to having a PDF so I can control F a keyword and find the rule quickly. Um, I miss that, not being able to PDF the document and find stuff faster. I got to look through it slower, and that kills my ADD because I start like. But that's that's just a preference thing. It's not a playable thing.
I'm old school. I don't mind highlighting in my rule books and scrolling back. Um, but we'll begin. Again,
Oh, so quick construction. You were bringing that up. So my understanding is in this version of the sequence of play is quick construction happens after all movement is done.
yes, at the conclusion of all movement, the players can do quick construction. Also, engineers at this time after movement attempt destroying bridges
Yeah.
and preparing. So that's
Yep.
destroying bridges for demolition. That is when that happens. So you don't do it in a construction phase, the bridge blowing. You do that after movement.
Yep. Okay. So you didn't have any? You said you didn't have any quick construction. You want to double check that?
I did already. I'm good.
Okay. So we would do the weather phase for it. So we're at the September 12th p.m. turn now,
Okay, let's get this up for weather.
and we're clear because it's clear the first day.
Oh, so it's cleared.
Yep. I moved it to p.m. on the turn chart already, so it says p.m. on the turn.
I need some shitty weather.
You
You know that, right?
No, you don't. I need some fuel, so we're both begging for stuff. Oh, I did find a thing last night. Remember, we were wondering about two units moving together if one's mechanized and one's foot,
Yes.
and they're combined. So when I attach my tank destroyers, I tried not to send you too many screenshots last night. I didn't want to be annoying, but it says they move as a mechanized unit
That's
together.
good to know. Okay.
I also found something that I don't know if this is different in this version versus 2020, but remember my units, I can move one regiment, I can move 3 infantry units by truck per division.
Yes.
And when I read the rule, it actually says I can move them as a mechanized unit, and then they immediately at the end of movement dismount. So they're not left in the truck. So that's interesting tactically.
I like that.
Yeah, well, and then the description it had for the little commentary by the designers, it said that U.S. troops would have been run up to the front line with a truck and dropped off, and then they would have moved in position. So it's kind of representing that. But you can only do that with the if you want to assign more than that, you have to assign a truck to them. So
Well, that's with the truck points, and then with the allies, like the U.S., you guys have 1 truck point per division.
hmm now I'm not sure if that applies to all units being transported like that. I know it specifically. I'd have to look if I ever need to use it. I want to say it was when I was reading about the intrinsic truck point. So I don't know if that applies, like if you load up the whole division or not. I don't know. But if I move using that free truck point, I basically just move them like they're a truck, and then they dismount right at the end of their movement. So I really don't even have to put the truck on them.
Okay.
But I just have to say this regiment is moving by truck.
Oh, what I told you before about the Army ADV and Corps ADV,
Yeah.
there is no Corps ADV. The only time you use a Corps ADV if there is no Army on the board. Well,
Okay.
we're starting with an Army, and so it's based upon your Army. So you roll your ADV against your Army ADV. Your ammo depletion roll should be against your Army ADV. That is it. If my 7th Army was not on the map per scenario, whatever corps is on the map, that one takes over as being the main ADV.
Yeah. Now I'm by creature by habit. I don't like change, so I don't really like that. I think if a corps has a higher ADV, that they would use that. But I'm if that's the rule, that's the rule. So I just don't like change. Unless I'm getting $1 million, then I like that change. So okay, so it's always the army. So
Yeah, so you can take your core ADV, core units off the track and just leave your army ADV. That's how
we
the
don't
game was
use
designed.
we don't use them for anything.
You use them if the army was never on the board. Like there's some scenarios that there is no army on the board. For instance, Vak on Rhine. You start with the 8 core on the board. You don't have any army on the board. There's no army headquarters on the board in Vak on Rhine in the very beginning.
So what's their penalty if you load up a corps with a bunch of divisions? You don't get penalized anything by having too many then.
The corps then acts as the army headquarters, and the army can control X amount of units.
No, what I'm saying is if you go over the limit of 3, there's no penalty then for going over the limit of 3.
Well, we're going to get into that. I don't want to get into that now. I wanted you to do your moving, and then, but
Okay.
I just wanted to bring that up.
Okay. Okay, so weather's done. We skip transport and logistic phase. That's AM only, so we go to command. So check for uniformation, corps and armies to see if they're in command. Command assignment boundaries. Additionally, during AM game turns. Okay, so, and then players check to see what leaders are activated. Now, we already did that.
No. So we just do, you don't do all that stuff. That's only for AM turn.
No, in command phase, it says all GTs, all game turns.
Okay, there we go. See? We're so used to playing the other way.
So we'd have to roll to activate our leader again.
During this phase, both players must check their units, formation, corps, and army to see if they're in command. Okay, so we have to check if anyone went out of command range. We did not.
Oh, then it says during AM GTs, players check to see what leaders are activated.
So
and if
that's
they're
only during AM.
Okay. So, but we can...
So we have to check to see if anyone went out of command range. Did you send anyone out of your command range?
No. No, everyone... Boundaries? Nope. Everyone is also in supply, so we're good. This is a pretty basic map. It's not super huge, so we're good there.
And I am as well.
All right, so U.S. player turn. Mode determination. Oh, you said I had the opportunity to spend an ammo point if I wanted to undeplete my guns. So I'm going to, during your turn, I would have been able to undeplete these 2 guns over here.
That's what I figure you want to do.
So I will undeplete them.
Spend that ammo point.
Spend 1 ammo point, and I get to do 2. So, okay. Alrighty. All right, mode determination. I'm just going to go left to right as I work on it. Because we're being stricter on our mode determinations, we said, so...
So you're still in your penalty phase.
Yeah, half movement.
And
no.
PA.
Yep. All right, I gotta go look at my fuel.
also, by playing with these rules, I want to know how much better, for me, that is, did the 2020 rules make the system? And that's for me personally.
Yeah, that'd be fun to hear your thoughts on it once you get some game time in.
Steve, I have to label these guys by the 9th Panzer because they're attached to the 9th Panzer.
Okay. You can also put them in that supply thing too to help you remember too. You right click and put the name of the unit.
Now in this rule, it is 6 max that can be attached to a formation and 6 max that can be detached from a formation. There is no, it's just units. These are part of the 49th, 89th. And then I have a couple of REs that are going to be attached to the 116th Panzer.
Okay, I'm going over to construction phase. So.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so you're building right now?
Oh, I'm going into movement now. I didn't build anything. I was just checking. I was re-familiarizing myself with bridge building and stuff, so I can start getting ready for that in the near future. So I'm going to movement phase now.
You're going to start by the 30th?
Yeah, I'll probably just do that. Work my way around. Okay. So nobody's using strategic. So now we'll go to tactical. We'll do tactical road first. Okay, so
It's going to be a nice battle. Now, you can always do standoff too.
yeah, yep. They're moving up there. There's only remember one fuel point with the 30th. I was really conservative on my fuel the first turn, which we'll see. That might help me next turn. We'll see if that bites me in the rear end or not. Okay, so Question. So my understanding is these guys here, they could move here, but they'd have a movement halt, but they can move past you because they can move 1 hex because you're not in a fortification, right? If you're a fortification, you can't move from that same zone
You can't. You
to
cannot.
another one.
Okay, you can't move there because it's clear terrain. Um, I believe it has to be movement cover terrain, not observational. But we can check that because I have an artillery unit.
Right, which gives a movement halt, but it doesn't prevent movement, right?
Yeah, it prevents you from going into that hex. Because you can always keep doing that. You can always keep going one behind somebody. It prevents you from getting behind me, the movement halt. You can't do it and then you're halted there. It's you can't go into that hex because the artillery prevents you from going into that hex that you're trying to pass me by. Now, if that was woods there, you can easily pass me right by. There will be no movement halt. We can look it up.
Yeah, I'm looking it up on page 15, just reading about movement halts. So it says you encounter in 7.5.1a. It says you encounter a movement halt if you enter a hex without movement covering terrain. So you enter the hex first, then you have to halt. And then I was looking about moving so enemy units in entrenchments or fortifications. It's the same thing. Let's see, where does it say? Leg units pay 1 extra movement point to move adjacent to an enemy unit. We know that. 2, if they're movement points, mechanized, are 2.
Correct.
And then there's restrictions on if it's all armored fighting vehicles and if there's movement covering terrain and all that stuff. Movement adjacent to enemy fortification. The unit may never move into a hex adjacent to an enemy occupied ink tag fortification hex directly from another hex to the same hex no matter what form of movement is used. Okay.
Okay, page 15.
All right. I was thinking that.
Okay, I'll give you an example. Your example is perfect. If you moved into the hex you're in right now, if you came from here, right, and you went into your hex now, there's a movement halt here that stops you from going from there to here. The next turn doesn't allow you to bypass that and go into this hex because then it's a gamey system. You could just keep doing this and wait till the next turn and then do it again, wait till the next turn, do it again. Then there's no halt.
Okay.
You follow what I'm saying? This is, as soon as you got into this hex becomes prohibited to you, no matter what turn it is to you, unless my artillery becomes ammo depleted or can't reach you.
Okay, so then my question is, okay, and that makes some sense except for if you look under fortifications and moving next to fortifications.
What page?
They have, let's see, I gotta find it here. Where is it at? I was just looking at it. So page 15, very bottom right corner, A unit may never move into a hex adjacent to an enemy occupied intact fortification hex directly from another hex to the same hex, no matter what form of movement is used. So that implies that there is other forms of movement that you can move next to an enemy unit again. Is it only prepared assault?
A unit may never move into a hex adjacent to an enemy occupied intact fort fortification directly from an adjacent hex, the same no matter what form of movement is used. Now, here's the thing: is it the movement based upon also? It doesn't matter. Movement covered terrain. It does not protect you. You can't move past a unit in an entrenchment or the fort, even in movement covered terrain. That's one. The other one is, and we have to look it up. When you're in PA, can you bypass? Which you can. You can bypass a unit. So if you put that unit in PA, you can attack now the guy with the construction marker on him. So you can put him in PA, and you can move here, and then attack.
Okay. Well, I read under PA, and I don't see where PA says that that's an option.
That's the only type of movement that I can think of, besides movement covered terrain.
Okay. Well, that might be something where, as the rules got clarified, maybe they clarify that in a different version of the rules. Because to me, that's kind of vague.
Oh, it says
like
it right here. Look at the example, actually.
Which example?
There's an example on that page 15.
Yeah, that's for the same turn, or that's when you move in that turn. I'm talking after they sat next to it for turn. They don't address anything about moving the next turn. But that makes sense, but I'm going to go find it in the new rules tonight or something, just see if they clarify that more. Okay, so those guys can, so that'd be 1.5. So this guy, if he has enough movement, he could go here and then come back here because he didn't move directly from one to another, right?
Correct. The example is showing it. It's showing a unit in entrenchment, and if you went into a clear terrain, and then you try to go into cover terrain, but next to the entrenchment, it prevents you from doing that.
Yeah, but that's an entrenchment. That's a different rule. Entrenchments, it says you can't move from one zone of control to the same entrenchment. It specifies you can't do it in entrenchment, so why would it say an entrenchment's different than this unit who's not in an entrenchment is what I'm saying.
Okay. No, because I was only entrenchment, forts, and fortification, but we'll look it up on the other one.
It won't matter because, okay, so these guys, and so these guys here, they can have up to 4 movement points. Let me go look at their thing again. So I could move 2 units, all of their maximum movement, so half, without having a problem. Or they have 4 fuel points, so I can move all of them 4. And let me get my chart again. Because what is that? That's a trail. It'd be 1.5 because of the woods, so it'd be 1.5. Oh no, they can't do that because it would be 2.5 and then 3.5, 4.5. So they can't just do that. I don't have enough movement points to do that. All right, well, I think what I'll do is I'll just move these guys up 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, over to First Division. I'm going to do Third Army first. Third Armor. They can move however they want, so I'm going to move all of them. Get them out of the way. So I have to figure out how I want to do this. All right, let's see. Okay. All right, so three. Okay, that's 5 there. Boy, it's hard to follow up these attacks. With all the fuel issues, I'm trying to do the math and I can't. I can get very few of them up next to you. So this guy's like, that's 1, 2.5. 3.5. 4, 5, 6. So that's the only guy that'll get up next to you there. Let's see. So 1.5, 2.5, 3.5, 4, 5, 6. One and a half, 3, 4, 5.5. Six and a half. One, 2, 3, 4. Let's see what we got there. 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, let's do this guy next. One, 2.5, 3.5. Oh, I can't even get in there. Two and a half, 3.5. That's all the further you can go. All right, what do we want to do with these guys?
By the way, you cannot PA past the unit in a movement halt. But continue.
Okay. 1. 1.5. Okay, this guy will go 1.5, 2.5, 3, 4, 5. And this guy will go 1, 1.5, 2.5, 3.5, 4.5, 5.5. Oops, I forgot his little attached guy.
It costs 4.5 also to move next to a west wall.
Does it?
No, I'm joking.
Oh, say like, well then I'm not gonna be able to do anything till I get more trucks. Okay, let's see here. So this guy. All right. Those other dudes are probably just going to do off-road movement. It's kind of nerve-wracking where we don't get to go back and clean up any little mistakes on movement. Got to make sure I got everybody that's moved by road moved. This guy will go 1.5, 2.5. And then I got artillery.
Now, you know, in all the rules, artillery, if they sit there, they're considered not on the road and you can pass through them.
Yeah, in battery they can.
Correct.
If they don't move and they're on the road, yeah. They got to get up closer. They're not close enough range yet, so it'd be 1, 2, 3.5. So I'll go there. Let's see, 1, 2, 2. Just gotta go 1, 2.5 to there. And it's gotta go 1, 2. Go there. Okay. And what is the HQ if it can move up to 3 movement points without causing a problem, or is it 3 hexes? Or
It is if you move your HQ 3 movement, more than 3 movement points.
okay. I just want to get him out of that spot.
So as long as you're 3 movement points and less, you're good.
Okay, so I'm just going to go 1. I just need to get him out of Eupen. And then this guy will go 1 to there. That is third armor. Oh, I can do their. Oh, that's right. I forgot third armor. I can do their off-road movement at the same time. So this one will go. Let's see. What's a woods?
Do you have anyone left for third armor?
Yeah, I got those little beat up dudes.
Where?
This guy and this guy haven't moved yet. I'm gonna not move one of them because I can bandage him up, but actually this guy will just move along the road. He'll just go half, 1.5. So this guy's not going to move because I'm going to want to put a replacement in him. So, all right, let's go on to road movement for 1st Infantry Division. So I kind of know where I want to get those guys. So, I got to go look what do they got for fuel. 1st Infantry Division can move 3.
Wonderful.
1. 2. And half. Let's go 2.5 to there. This guy will go 1, 2, 3. One, 2, can't do that. So this guy will go 1.5, 3. And we got a tank here. Just gonna move him out for a second. So he was there. So you go 1, 2, 3. One, 2, 3. 1, 2.5. Okay, let's go 1, 2.5. 1, 2.5. 1, 2, 3. Let's see. 1, 2.5. 1, 2.5. Oops. All right. And the HQ, since they're not fighting, doesn't really matter that much. He will go 1, 2. He'll move his 3 there. All right, so that's the mechanized for the 1st. Now we'll do the 9th Infantry, and then I'll go do all my foot sloggers. 9th Infantry, what did they have? They had 4. They can move 4 if I move everybody. All right, so we'll go 1, 2, 3. We'll go 3.5 to there.
It's not that bad. You got pretty far.
Yeah, on the primary roads.
Absolutely.
1, 2, 3.5 to there. He'll just go. Let's see. He's going to end up behind him because of the half point. What do we got? We got a guy here that'll go 1, 2, 3.5 to there. And let's see. 1, 2, 3.5 to there. This guy will have to stop there. Let's see. We got some artillery working its way up. So 1, 2, 3 to there. And let's see. 1, 2, 3 to there. 1, 2, 3 to there. If our recon guys, they're like, we're supposed to be up front. No, we don't. We don't need you up front. We're too busy right now.
You can always take the
1,
wood, the forest.
2, 3. Yeah, they're thinking about cutting through the woods there. So they're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4. Might as well. And let's see, this guy here, since they're not fighting, I don't have to worry about moving him more than 3, so he'll move 4. Well, he might not be able to move 4, so it'd be 1, 2, 3, I guess a half to there, so whatever, we'll get that extra. We might need that extra half movement, right? Never know when that little half movement point later on in the game could do everything for me. Okay, I think that's the end of the armored. So now I'm going to go back up to the 30th Infantry Division and start moving the foot sloggers. And they can move half without a problem, so I'm just going to pretend they're all moving 3. All right, so let's see if I move that guy there. Oof, that doesn't seem very good. Well, we're going to maybe try that, I think. Okay. This guy's just going to move up to there. Or wait a minute. Yeah, this guy moved to there. And infantry only pay 1 to move next to a unit?
Yes, just 1. To move
Okay,
next to an enemy.
Does this river do anything for him moving this to here, or is that still a movement halt?
Okay, show me where you're talking about.
This guy to here into the rough.
Hold on, I gotta zoom out. I'm looking at your 9th.
This guy here? No, go up to the 30th.
Okay.
This guy here,
yes.
Moving into this rough spot.
Hold on.
Is this still a movement halt with this guy on the bridge? Because rough is not occupational.
No, it's not movement cover terrain. It has to be movement cover terrain. I believe it is.
Or movement? Okay.
Let's just make sure of that. Let's make sure on the rules. Movement halt.
Okay.
Yeah, so enemy unit, no movement, cover terrain, and a red hexagon.
Okay.
So he would be
Let's see here.
You're still in the 30th, right? Correct?
Yep. One. Well, that kind of sucks. Let's see, what is that? Let's see, 1.5. All right, so that'd be 1.5.
So road movement was complete. Now we're on non-road movement for people
Yep.
watching. No, I'm just saying it for people watching this.
So 1, 2, 3. Okay. Oh, wait, is that restricted? Nope, that's not restricted.
You are where?
Okay.
Okay.
Up here at the 30th still. There's some restricted terrain down there, but the hex I was moving into wasn't restricted. So I was like, oh crap, it's restricted, but it's not. It is all around it. One, 2, 3. All right. Those guys are done up there. I'm going to move these infantry. 1, 2. Okay, so he's going to go 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And what's that guy want to do? 1, 2. Okay. 30th Infantry Division is done. Now I'm going to go over to the 1st. One, two, three. Go to the same spot. Let's see. One, two, three. One, two, three. Yeah, I'll just do that, I think. One, two, three. One, two, three. One, two, three. Oh, this HQ moved one too far because there was an artillery there, so I would have to have paid +2 for that. All right, let's move these guys. One, two, three. And then this guy will go one, two, three. And I'm going to leave that other guy in the back because he's going to get some replacements. Okay, down to, I think, my last one. 9th Infantry. Chugging up down the road.
Yeah, and these rules,
One,
you can't
two, three.
move your units if you're going to give them replacements. That's the original rules. So that's why Steve's just leaving his units alone who need replacements.
Oh, they gotta wait back there. Yeah, is that right? Can he move up? No, he can move up there. In the new rules, if you can still move, you just can't fight. Okay. One, two, three. And one, two, three. All right, well, it took me a while, but, there's a lot to think about. There's more constricted terrain on here than you'd think. Okay, so...
Okay, let's get to the sequence of play.
So, player movement phase. Let's see, I did all that. Tactical, road.
Well,
no prepared assaults.
Do you want to do quick construction before you go there? And you're not going to blow any bridges, so any quick construction for you?
I don't think so.
All right, then it's going to be my exploitation mode. I didn't put anyone in exploitation mode, so we're good there. You have anyone fatigued?
Nope.
Okay, so no fatigue recovery.
So attacker designation.
So who's going to be put in TA tactical assault.
Well, I think these guys right here are going to be for the 30th there.
Okay. So we're
Yep. And then I'm going to mark these guys. And then we're going to try this and see. These guys here. And that is going to be it.
okay. What do you want? All right, let's see what else before we jump around.
So barrage segment for you.
I'm going to start by the 116 Panzer.
Okay.
So I have a battalion.
And you're in a west wall, so you'd have what, 12? Call in 12 guns because of the west wall.
No, I don't even have 12 to even call in. I wish I had 12 units. I'm on bare minimum. Beyond bare minimum.
Yeah, well, I'm attacking you on fumes.
Oh, it is 1, 2, 3. Flak. Let's see if flak in the original rules for artillery. Just want to make sure. Because flak can reach out 3 hexes. And they don't roll for ADV. They don't get affected by ADV, I should say. They can't be ammo depleted.
I don't see anything under the barrage index, so you might want to look for flak.
Usually I remember flak in the very beginning of the book. Let's see. I'm in barrage section, so I'm reading that part.
'21 is artillery unit participation. I'm going to check the game-specific rules, see if they have anything in there. Yeah, the game-specific rules don't say anything other than they just say the flak units are always in supply if they have they don't use fuel, they just have to have a supply source.
Okay, we're going to skip it since we're learning these rules, and we'll get back to it because I don't want to spend all day looking for something that's probably right in front of our face.
Okay.
We're going to find out in 2 seconds once we look in there. All right, so I am bringing in 8. Let me zoom in on this. So I'm going to bring in this unit, and I'm going to bring in this unit. I don't think I have any others, so let me mark it as.
I mean, nervous there. I thought you were bringing in 8 guns. I'm like, what?
I wish.
I was like, it's like, that's gonna hurt. All
Let's
right,
get
so
this. All right, so this is coming down in it. So I have an 8. Let's start with the modifiers. Let's start with steps. Just tell me if it's a plus or minus.
+2.
So +2 for steps.
Yep.
You observed. Your terrain means nothing. Are you pure or you're mixed?
Be,
Mixed, right?
yeah, the those hybrid units are always mixed, I think, right?
So that's going to be a -2. So we're back at 0 DRM. That is going to be it. So it's a 0 modifier, dice modifier, and an 8 barrage, and I don't have any ammo points. So let's roll. 7. Ooh,
So 2.
a 2. Two hits.
Okay, I'm just trying to think of what you maybe have there. So if I take 2 hits, oof.
So if you take 2 hits, the first one you take a step loss, second one you're going to roll on your lowest PR unit.
And what's the so I have that attached engineer, that's who I'd have to use, isn't it?
Yes, whoever's the lowest.
Do you know what a breakdown unit is for PR?
It's in one of the books. I'm not sure if it's a 5 or a 6. It's in one of the books. I'll look at you look at
Otherwise I can retreat 1 and then take a step loss, right?
That's correct. If you want to look into Hurtgen Hell's Forest's exclusive rules, it might be in there. I can look in the rule book, the series rule book.
Okay, I'll look in there. I don't remember it being in there because I just read the whole thing last night, but let me double check. I think I'm just going to retreat, though, if it's a 5.
It might be. I'm saying it might be a 5 or a 6. It's one of the two. However, I don't want to make you do something that isn't right.
Okay, let's see. No, it's not in the Hurtgen one. PR.
It's a breakdown unit, you said?
Yeah, it's an engineer. Armored engineer.
There's 2 things. It can have its own that the book gives it, or it can be the parent PR rating. And so that's what I'm not sure of.
Yeah, that would be important because that'd give me an 8.
Correct.
Yeah, we better look up. Let's see. PR check. Alright, so this would be under barrage. I'm going to look under the PR check thing to see if it says on page 22 under barrage. So 4.3.1a is the rules for PR checks. here we are. It's making.
Okay, here we go. The breakdown retains the PR of the parent unit. This is 18.4.0. Breakdown unit status.
Okay. Well, let me go look at the parent unit.
I'm going to highlight that. Need my highlight marker. Yeah, it says players can remember this, write it down, or use an attach or detach marker to remind them. So, yeah, you can.
All right, so his attack would be a 7. The way I'm gonna, you know what? I'm gonna try it.
You're going to try it? Okay.
Yeah. All right, so I rolled a 2, so he's good. So I have to take 2 step losses, right?
Correct. While you do that, I'm going to roll my ADV. My ADV for my army is a 3. 0. We pass.
Okay, so now I got to look at where is the breakdown of hybrid units.
Oh, that's in that breakdown sheet.
Yeah, I'm gonna go look at.
It tells you what goes first and what goes second.
Okay, so a hybrid unit. Okay, there it is.
So a 2 company one is.
So you lose a
Sherman first, and then a mech.
and a mech, and then a Sherman, right?
Well, the Sherman's on top, and I always remember being told the Sherman is always first. However, we can do it that way. Do it what we see.
I think it's Sherman, mech, Sherman.
Sherman, mech, Sherman. That's how I know it as
I think. Well, either way, I'm just losing the Sherman off each one. So let me go look at the. Okay, so they're each. That's going to be 2 armor total lost. Youch. Expensive.
Yes, it is. Did you take your points on top?
That's why I was double checking, so I just moved it. Okay, and you did your ADV, so you can go over to your next one over there on the west side of the map. You got 2 of them.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So I actually have a unit under here. So I have 7. But I can bring in this guy instead. So I can do 3 here, 2 here for 5, and another 3 of the adjacent division. So that's going to be 8 coming down on your guy.
Is there more than a company under there? Because your company guy can only call in 1 gun unless there's a bigger one underneath him.
I have a bigger one.
Okay.
So we're going to bring in, for the folks at home, there it is.
Is it a battalion? It's got to be a battalion.
It is a battalion.
Oh. Fine.
So we're going to do this. Hold on. Can he reach? I'm like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, he can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, he can as well. All right. All fired at that hex. Here we go, Steve. Let's check the DRMs. Anything on steps?
Steps would be +1.
So it's a +1. How about on, are you pure or mixed? So that's -2, so that's a -1 to my roll. And I don't see anything else that can help either one of us. All right, -1 to the roll. We're on the 8 column. Oof, 1 on the 8.
Artillery shift.
An AS. I'll take that. I'll get you an artillery shift. Here you go. That helps.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to roll my ADV. Again, my ADV is a 3, an 8. Wow, all of them. So it's 5 of them have to go out of commission. I only have 3. That hurt. Okay, all 5 are gone. And the last one is up here.
Yep.
We have 3, 6, and I can bring in this guy for 7, 8. So let's do that, Steve.
Okay.
This guy, my spotter. Fire, fire. Oh, they all did it. So they're all fired. Here we go. What's your steps?
+2.
+2.
Not mixed.
Not mixed. So just a +2. Terrain doesn't help you because you're attacking. Okay, that is all. Am I on? I am not. An vantage point. So here we go. 4 on an 8.
AS1.
4 on an 8. Yes, AS1. Artillery shift. And you will take a step loss.
Yep.
And I will roll for ADV for these 3. 8. They're all depleted. All right, Steve, it's your turn for artillery.
Okay. Well, we'll just start back where you were attacking me. So these guys here will spot for and attack this guy. I will call in these 3 guns, but I'll leave 1 point off, so it's only 8.
Okay. Modifiers are going to be, you're going to get a -1.
Oh, hold on a second. I got to see about, I got to see what I got for artillery, see if I'm going to do any intensive. I won't do an intensive on this one. Okay. Just want to make sure before we do modifiers that, although I guess I can see you're just 1 guy there.
2 steps I have, so it's a -1. I am in a village. That's another -2, so that's -3. And that I'm not mixed or anything like that or pure. Are you on a vantage point?
I don't think so. Nope.
Okay, so it's just a -3 to your roll, and we're in an 8 column, 8 barrage coming in.
Okay.
Want to roll? 9. Wow. -3 is a 6. Nice shot. Nice
2 hits.
I have to.
I know, but that just means I wasted it over there for a 3rd armor. 3rd armor is going to get a 0. All I wanted to do is harass this stupid security unit.
Oh, this sucks. This is terrible. What are you sad about? You broke through. I have to get out of there now. I have to move.
Well, that's true. Otherwise, you just die. So
correct. So he has to move back,
You have to take
and he has
take
to
a
take
shot.
and take a step loss.
All right. So I'm going to lose my tactical, so I just get rid of the artillery shift after I advance, right?
Correct.
We're not like violating any rule by doing that.
Yes. If you were in PA, I would have to put an AS marker on me because I retreated. But since
Yeah,
you,
because I could follow up the attack, but I can't. So
yes.
okay, so let me roll my ADV, which I think is a 4.
Ooh,
Ooh.
very good.
All right, so hold on. I think you did all of my ones too, didn't you? Oops, wrong guy. Artillery menu set fired. Okay, look at that.
I like that.
Couple of snazzy dudes. All right, so that was pretty good though. I crossed that river.
You did. I was hoping to hold that.
Okay, so let's go over to. I can't do any artillery with my. I was trying to read that last night, and my understanding is these 113th Cav guys could call in. Maybe I'll have to read it again. I thought I read it, but I thought it said they could call in divisional artillery or something like that, but I can't remember.
All right, we'll read it again, me and you, and we'll find out for sure.
All right, so it's nothing to do there. So let's go over to the last one on third armor there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so let's see. So they're obviously observing the guys in tactical. I will bring. Let's see. I'll just set them fired now. That guy will fire. 1, 2, 3, 4. This guy will fire. So just the 2, and I'm going to spend an ammo point to do an intensive. Well, wait a minute now. You're in a west wall.
Yeah.
So without knowing how many steps you got, all my stuff can only be artillery shifts, can it?
Correct.
Because I don't have a siege gun. Okay, so I'll just do them. I'm not going to do an intensive then and waste that on a west wall hex.
Yeah, and
so
it's on the barrage table here. It says, when barrage in a west wall hex, if no artillery unit has the white dot next to the artillery symbol participating, then all number results are treated as AS results.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm not going to spend artillery if I can't knock out points. All right, so let's go through the modifiers. I'll just fire 1 round of 8 to see if I can get some artillery shifts.
All right, so it's not going to be good for you.
Number of steps?
It is 2, so it's a -1, right?
Well, you have 2 units there, though, don't you?
Yeah, but my...
you have a spade under there probably, huh?
Yes,
so he's
do.
actually only 1 step.
He's
okay.
1 step. So I only got 2 steps sitting there. So it's a -1. Then we go down to improved positions, entrenchment. West wall gives you a -7, so that's -8 so far.
Now, what was the rule on your west wall not being totally done? Is that only for ground combat?
This is only for the shifts, not for barrage.
Okay.
So -8, and then we go down to, are we mixed or pure? We're neither. And I'm in the forest, another -1.
Oh, you get both the fortification and the forest?
Well, fortification is like having entrenchment.
Oh, okay.
And then you're in also...
so I can't even hit you then.
So...
I guess I could with a 9.
What's that?
It's forest, you said, is another -1, right?
Yeah, where is that? Hold on, before I miss it. It's one before the bottom. Units not attacked designated in woods or forest, -1. So it's 7, 8, 9. So -9.
So I need a 9 to get an AS on you. See, I needed that 9 over here, dude. Oh, then I get a 0. I'll make my ADV roll.
The first time we played it, Steve, you remembered that. You said to yourself, I'm never going to fire artillery against the west wall. Remember?
I remember that, but then I would if I had barrage, but I got it. So I was reading last night, and I think I can do it. I think I can do it next AM turn. I can assign trucks to bring in reinforcements. So I need to start doing that to bring in and get some of those guns with the white circle on them.
Which you do have.
Yeah. Okay, so let me go here. One of my guys got depleted because I rolled a 5. Nothing happened. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's do the... Okay. Make sure we're not skipping anything. We're all done with fire combat. So then it's attacker status adjustment, which we don't have any to do. Well, we did already with that tactical assault up top. Ground assault. So we got 2 ground assaults, so let's go ahead and just stick with the 3rd armor here.
And by the way, the west wall thing about being upgraded, you can make a note of this, 17.3.7E in the exclusive rules. It states that the only penalty on the west wall is 1 shift. It's the combat shifts only. It has nothing to do with barrage DRMs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that -7 is brutal.
It is. It's like beating your head against a brick wall.
Yep.
Okay, where are you going now again?
Let's go ahead and do the ground assault right here on the 3rd armor against that little stack of stuff that you got lucky and knocked out 2 steps. If you would have done that, I'd be pounding you right now.
So since I'm 1 step, it's going to be half that defense value. It's going to be a 3,
Yep.
and I have a 3, so it's 6 defense value for me.
All right, and I'm attacking with 17. So 2.83, so 3-1.
Now, we use the forest, because I'm in the forest. The west wall is going to give me shifts. And right now it's only going to give me 1 shift. But
okay.
Let's go. So we're in
So
the
we're
forest.
on the H column.
And what are you again?
I have 17 points attacking you, so it's 3-1.
So it's 3-1.
So we're on the H column.
So let's go through this. You're not in prepared attack. Defender is not in low or anything like that. It's not night. I'm in the west wall. So instead of getting 3 shifts, I'm only going to get 1 shift until I upgrade. So we go from H down to G. I have no adjacent enemy units, friendly units against you. I don't have a leader, nor do you. You have no artillery shifts, no?
Nope.
You didn't?
No, you knocked out 2 steps, but there was no ASs on them.
Your headquarters didn't move more than 3 movement points.
Nope.
You're not overstacked. You're not multi-formation. My army delivery value is more than 2. It is a 3, my army. And I have no army delivery value of 1 either. Do you have engineers?
Yeah.
So engineer is going to give you 1 shift back because of my fortification. So we went from G back to H. So we're on the H column.
Okay.
Dice modifiers, you didn't put anyone in combat reserve. How about your regimental integrity?
I get so I have 2 battalions there. So is it just 1 or 2? Is it for each battalion there, or just
if they're so if they're from the same regiment, it's
Yep.
5 10. Each one's worth 5. So if
All
one's
right.
5, the other one's
So I
10.
have 10 points.
So you have 10 points. And I don't have any because of it's a one step.
Yeah.
So nothing for that. So you have a plus 10 to your dice roll. Um, Armor, AT. How much armor do you have?
Just my 4.
Okay. So this is what's going to happen now. I have 88s in there. It's a
Yeah, you
7.
got 7. Yep.
And AT, anti-tank weapons, do not get modified down, even though we're in terrain. It's only armor factors get modified down. So basically, I have 3 times 10. I have 30 points that are going to get through.
Okay. So I'm at a minus 20 so far because I had 10 for my rib.
Correct. So minus 20 to you. And then I'm coming in with 7 for my PR.
I have an 8, so that makes it a minus 15.
But mine goes up because I'm in a fortification to an 8.
Oh, yeah, okay. So minus 20.
So it's just a minus 20 to both of our dice rolls.
And I'm on the H column.
We're on the H column. 73 becomes a 53. Not bad.
So a 1.
That's 1. Oof.
1 discretionary. Oh, that's not going to be good.
So that's a 12. That's a 2-1. So 2 discretionary, 1
mandatory.
1 mandatory. So I'm going to find out what you do first before I take my.
Yeah, you're not going to lose anything because I'm gonna take my mandatory and retreat 2 of the discretionaries off.
So what Steve's doing, he got a 2 discretionary and 1 mandatory hit. The mandatory hit is a step loss. So he's going to take the step loss, and the discretionary hits the 2. He's going to retreat 2 hexes along a road to get rid of.
Now, do they have to? They don't stop when they hit the CCB3, do they? They retreat through them.
No, I remember they retreat through them, but that's a good question, Steve. That is a good question, actually. Because
I'll move them there for now, but we can.
Yeah, and we'll look back because I'm not sure. Do you really, if the road's gonna, if there's a unit on the road that's gonna stop you, you can use non-road movement as well, right? Because it's clear terrain.
Oh yeah, it is clear.
Like if you weren't using a road and you went, let's say, from here to here, and there's no road between the two, you couldn't go to here. The forest would stop you because there's no road.
Yeah.
So since Steve retreated, I don't have to take that discretionary hit.
Yeah, I wasn't gonna take 2 more hits for that measly.
You remember this from last time.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I had to kind of test the waters and see. It would have been a lot better if you wouldn't have got that extra. If you wouldn't have got 2 step losses on me, that was brutal.
So
I took 2 of my full strength guys down to 2 steps each. Okay, so that was that one. Now we can go over and do this one here.
Oh, you know what we forgot to do?
What?
And we forgot after barrage if you want to make the attack or not. If you're in moving covered terrain, you can take off your TA marker if you so choose not to make that attack.
After barrage?
Yes, remember?
Oh, I still would have done the attack.
Like for this guy here.
Yeah. Well, he's not in terrain though. He's in the open.
Oh yeah, he is in the open. But other guys that if you don't want to make that attack, so you're making that attack there. I will add up my units. It's a 6, and you're attacking across a stream and into rough.
All right, so it's a 2-1 because I'm attacking with 13 to your 6. So it's a 2-1, and the terrain is rough. So that puts us on the H column.
Our column shifts are PA none. Um, no advantage point, no improved positions for me. I'm not in. I don't have any help that's adjacent to me to help me.
Oh, my guy isn't in the open technically. He's in a village, but it's still attack. So
I don't have a leader. You don't have a leader that's going to help you. Okay, we do get artillery shift, so we go from H down to G. Your headquarters didn't move more. You're not overstacked. No multi-formation and no armor delivery value shifts. And I'm not in any fortification, so if you had an engineer, it doesn't help. So the only shift we got was for the artillery shift, which is now on column G, and I'll take this off of you.
Okay.
Okay, dice modifiers. Combat reserve, none. You have any regimental integrity?
Nope.
I believe I do.
The anti-tank gives you rib?
No. The guy adjacent behind me. I'm a defender.
Doesn't he have to be touching me?
No.
No?
No, for regimental integrity, it just has to be adjacent to me. He's not from the same regiment as I am. So nothing there.
Okay.
AT, armor value or AT?
I have a tank armor value of 2.
And I have a AT of 4. So 4 and your 2 gives me plus a minus 20.
Okay.
PR.
I have a 7.
I have a 6. So it's going to be minus 5 again. So it's going to be, a plus 5 for you. So it brings us to a minus 15. So minus 15 to both of our rolls, and we're sitting on the G column.
Okay.
11.
Yeah, that's off. That's off the chart. So nothing.
What did I say? 45.
That'd be 35.
35.
So mandatory and a discretionary. So I'll take the.
No. Oh, it's 50. That's right. Mandatory and discretionary.
Yep. Okay, so I'll take it and retreat 1. Let's see, I gotta go. Mark my step loss.
You have a headquarters in there?
Yeah, you have to assign one of your units as an HQ when they're all battalions. One of them has to act as an HQ for supply and stuff.
No, I know that. I was trying to see. That's only for leaders. That a leader can be killed in action.
Okay, let's see. So that's the end of the ground assault. So we go to exploitation. For me, I don't have any. So U.S. player administration phase. I don't have any air resupply. Supply determination. Everyone's going to be fine still. Mutual ammo replenishment segment. Let's see what I end up with. I ended up with one depleted gun, I think. So I will roll that one depleted gun over there at third armor. Nope. Replacement segment. All right, so I receive replacements. I have one armor and one infantry I want to do. So I'll just move that off, and I will go add those over. So first infantry division will take one, and third armor will take one.
Is the replacement, is that mutual? Where's my...
Yeah.
It is mutual. The
Oh
replacement
no,
segment.
replacement segment. Eligible U.S. units may receive. Nope, it's only your game, only during your turn.
Okay, so last turn I did, I should have taken my replacements at that time, correct?
Right.
Okay.
During. Yep.
Well, I missed it, so I'll do it this turn coming up.
Okay. And it would be your turn now anyway. So
Correct.
took all the move markers off, and you're good to go.
Let me hit the fire thing.
The fire thing.
The fire
Oh,
for the artillery.
I thought I did that. I guess not.
All right, so that was the Allies' PM turn.